Hello everyone and welcome to Mashinky! Mashinky, it's a funny name to say, Mashinky. It is a early access game that I had the pleasure to talk to the developer a little bit. I was pretty excited to see this thing, how it looked on Twitter and on the Facebook page where he was posting a lot of images of it. And essentially what you're looking at is, you could say, Transport Tycoon in the modern era. We are looking at a really good little indie game. I think only one guy is working on it currently, and it is capturing a lot of what that original Open Transport Tycoon does. So you'll obviously tell there's no grid lines or anything like that. In fact, we'll zoom out here. You can see the town layout and all the little industries out there. Now this is a very, very early access version of this game. There is a link in the description down below to the store page. If you guys want to back it on early access, it will come out. But, you know, things will change and add over time. There's different eras to go through, potentially wagons to add. But right now, all we have to work with is trains. And you know what? Everyone loves trains, and I am perfectly okay with that. But you can see in this map, this is the overview of the world that I randomly generated here, and you can see that there's hills and you know, obstacles, forests, water obstacles kind of in the way of this randomly generated terrain that we have, and it's our basically job to ship the people around to other towns, also try and ship some of these industries around. I'm not quite sure exactly if the towns grow yet or how that's implemented, if it is or not, but hopefully eventually things like that come down the line. Again, this is super early, but what we have here is this really smooth terrain, and some of you might think, oh, well, it's kind of like Transport Fever. That's where you kind of are wrong, and this is where it goes back a little bit to the old school build system, where if I press space, which is to go into build mode here, you'll see it all shifts. And now this looks very familiar, right? You get your nice grids, your isometric lines here. The height lines for the hills are very well laid out, and you can see it looks very much like you would expect from Transport Tycoon. And then spacebar again, and you are back into the decent looking graphic version. So it's pretty cool. It has these two modes. One's really easy to build in, the other one's really easy to look at. So that is something to consider. What I'm gonna do is actually pop into build mode, and I wanna set up our first train line. So we'll zoom out a little bit and take a lay of the land. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to set up a main line, of course, and then from there you can kind of do different avenues and things connecting up to it, right? So there's this one little town over here. We're gonna temporarily ignore it, and I kind of want our first trains to basically come from this town. This is Coventry, and we want to go up northern direction up to here, and then we'll probably have a eastern and western line eventually onto this. So we'll get some dual tracks going. In fact, really, it'd probably be best to just go perfectly at a 45, and that is a more efficient route. So we'll take a look when we get started. Here, the options down below in build mode, we can build roads, of course, we can demolish things. You can also modify the terrain, flatten it, level it, lower it, all that good stuff. Plant some trees, and it looks like you can set transparency for buildings if that's something you need as well. There are some missions in the game. So you can see we have our mission here, first passengers. 50 passengers to any city will get $100. And the currency is not 100%, you know, an accurate representation of what things cost, but we'll just get started. So we're gonna go into the rail section, and we're gonna lay down a station, which you just simply drag and drop here. And I'm not a big fan of letting the game, you know, let the train do a quick turnaround in the station. So we're gonna try and avoid that as best as possible. Did I turn down the audio by chance? No. Maybe it just takes a second for that to kick in. It is, again, early access, so weird things can happen in titles like this. So let's level this train out a bit. It is a little expensive to do so, as you guys can see, but it is definitely worth it in my mind. this is kind of the end of the line if you think about it. There's not much in the bottom left corner. So we'll just go ahead and plop things down. The overall audio kind of music, very reminiscent of what you would kind of expect from a game kind of like this. So let's do that. And then get it to curve around as much as possible. Whenever you're doing one of these large kind of turnaround areas, it's pretty interesting. I just don't like the idea of the train just backing straight up out of a station. It's a pretty weird looking for me. So we'll just do this, and then we'll connect this up to there like so. So this is kind of the station loop like that, and it's the end of the line, so we can just have a single track to that point, and then now we can start worrying about dual tracking and things. But maybe initially let's just lay out the rest of our station locations. Station locations brought to you by Uthris. It sounds like a snack. Okay, so over here, let's put a station back there, and when you lay these down, you can see the area of influence, right? So we want to make sure to pick up a few of these houses and homes. And then, you know what, let's just, I wouldn't mind just making this a three stop line to begin with. We can pick up this other town, Luton, but let's go to Oldham first, because, you know, they need some new ham. It's a little stale back here. And they also have a sawmill, so that would be handy to get into here, if possible. You know what, we might have to have two different stops. One for people, because you want to try and capture as many buildings in as possible for people. And then here we can just have a stop for timber eventually, if we need to process that down. We have some logs on the way, so we can think about bringing logs over here eventually. And you'll see this just says it turns it into planks. Planks are currency, much like dollars, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's just think about laying down our lines. First things first, we need a little train depot in here. Now the cool thing about this is you can kind of just place it down anywhere, but also it does kind of have an automatic hookup feature like this. That works pretty well. Now it's a little awkward on these, there we go. So that's a good spot for a train depot. It has access to both stations and both routes. And it's a good location to have these at the end of the line usually. Now I don't want to go up or down the train too much, so we'll have the main line kind of stick kind of towards the water's edge here. So we will, let's delete this little piece. Very quick to do, and then just start going along the edge here, and then I guess we'll just keep it at a 45 for a little bit, just like that. This is gonna be probably end up being dead space. We could double it up if we wanted to. If we wanted to maybe just get rid of that road there, we could in theory run a line like so, and then just have it merge, so there's only one little point. There are signals for this, and the way the signals work are you simply just plop them down. They have very quick, understandable green arrows marking out, and the way you change the direction, right now it's just looking to see it can go either way, but if I click on this right turn signal, it keeps that, deletes the other one, right? So that means it's a one-way here. If I click on this one, it's a one-way the other direction. So we're gonna keep the right lane open and have everything go around that way. You can do very much the same into the train station itself and then out of the train station like so. I like to brake at the entrance and exit of the train station. That way things can work out. So we can do that and that. Actually, yeah, this is it's a one-way kind of system, isn't it? That's fine. That is perfectly fine. I generally put a turn signal. Well, I guess turn signal isn't the correct phrase. One of these switches on each of these junctions. Those are kind of the spots that I go for. And then at that point, you can just kind of space them out a little bit along the track in case there's a lot of trains waiting to go through this loop. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So that's a basic station, and at least in the method that I do them in. Another one is just to do a turnaround, so you just connect this straight and the train will just kind of flip around automatically. Again, I don't like that look. In fact, you can turn that off in the options. So if you don't want that, you can do so. Let us, yeah, you can see this hill is in the way a bit from getting this back there, but that's okay because that's nothing we can't fix here in Mashinky. Yes. So this one I'm going to do a little bit different. It's going to be a bit of a longer curve to get to where we want to go. However, it'll be worth it because, there we go. Because I can just make it go over to connect to the main line there, and then this one can connect from here. So it won't really ever connect back in a way like this one is. So we're not gonna have this pinch point. We're gonna try and do an overpass. I haven't tried that yet in this game, but they do look beautiful when you do them in other games similar. So I don't see why not. And we'll just make this curve around the hill here. I don't know if hills affect speed. I know it does in like Transport Fever or other games like this. So for now, we'll just treat it as if it does. All right, and by the way, if we leave build mode, you can see this is kind of what it looks like graphically. There's a lot of dirt that kind of spawns in here, but over time, as the game plays out, it gets filled in with grass again. Look at that shoreline. It's a very beautiful game. You can turn the graphics up a good amount and just have fun with it. So let's get this train route going. All right. So we'll get this to curve. Oh, that's not quite right there. I think we need to curve it sooner. No, still too late. You'll see if you delete a block, it'll delete both kind of sections there. So let's do this. There we go. That's what we needed to happen for this to function. And the reason I'm doing 2 lines, you don't necessarily have to do this. You could just, you know, create passing lanes and have more single line segments. But to me, this is the main line that's going to be going across this direction. And then we'll add other things onto it. Very similar to what we're about to do here with this location. And you can even do that with the forester that's right here as well. So we'll take a crack at this. All right. So this is going to the north, this is going to the south, and we want this line to be able to connect here and also this line. So the easiest step, of course, would be to connect these. Right, very straightforward connection there. This one, now you can just make it connect. You could just do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. That works just fine in theory. You know, gameplay reasons, it's actually the more efficient route to do. However, I'm not interested in gameplay. You guys know me. I'm more interested in how things look because I'm weird like that. And so eventually what you can do, we don't have enough money for this, or at least lumber to do something like this. You could, in theory, build a bridge that goes over this train track. That way you can get things from this lane over here without making the southern line stop. Now, for us to do that, we actually need to get lumber tokens, which is what you get when you take lumber to the sawmill. So for now, it's a little bit out of reach, which is fine. We can just do something basic like this for now. And then over time, as we continue playing throughout the series, we'll try and make things a little bit more beautiful. But for now, I think function is driving form a little bit. So we will, oh shoot. I didn't expect to have to do it like this, but that's okay. That's the fun in it for me. So we have that little loop. I don't like this little junction here, so I'm going to flatten that just to keep it nice looking. Okay. Then this, we will simply do that so they can go back up to the north. I don't know if this type of intersection is kind of called anything. Do let me know in the comments down below. I don't know the names of a lot of this stuff, but this is kind of what it looks like in the game. And then for now, can I take out a loan is what I want to see. I can borrow a loan. How much can I borrow? Yeah, we'll go back up to $1,000. And so another 500 there. And then we'll connect this other station. And then we'll buy some trains. We'll set a route so we can start making money. That way you guys can see how that looks. Alright, so I think about here, the main line should probably start going off this direction, to be honest, right? So we'll have to bring this station onto the line in a moment. We'll see how we handle that. We have a bit of an awkward spot here, though. So we'll do that, and can I bring it down at an angle? Of course I can't. That's fine. That is fine. It's workable. So this is where I want it to start, and so to get up here, we'll do that. And then that to actually get this placed. There we go. You know, I swear there was sounds for actually building things. But maybe it's only music. And then when I actually get the trains going, those will be the sounds. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. Okay, so we have this little bit of an awkward turn. Really, we could probably do it a little bit better if we wanted, like something. Oh boy, let's see. We have money to burn. Why not? Why not? If not, I can just take another loan. There we go. That is much better looking. Keep them very parallel, in my opinion. It just helps the look, right? So let's go grab this. We'll do another turn around kind of style. Alright, like that. That way it can come over here. This can just go straight, but first things first, let's level this out to there. You know, just so this can kind of come over and connect rather nicely. Alright, just like that, and then this could probably run parallel basically as long as possible. I guess we'll do it there. Because you want this dead space to be pretty small. So this will be the entry, the exit point. I think we have to kind of do that, to be honest. And then if we want it to go this way, we can. And if we want it to go this way, we can. So we have this very kind of Christmas tree shape here. It's a mess, I know. But once we unlock bridges, we will work on doing everything else. I believe there's also a sandbox mode if people prefer that. All right, let's get the switches set up. So we'll start with the corners. Oh wow, this is gonna be an interesting interchange. I think something like that. Right? This is a little crazy of a little section of track here, isn't it? Okay, so we'll do that, and that one's set, and that one's set. Okay, so this is entrance, 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 right? Exit, exit, exit. this actually needs to be able to go both ways. So how am I gonna do that, you ask? Let us just delete that signal. Because it needs, this section of track needs to be able to go either direction. So I think if I just leave it like that, it should function. I don't know, sometimes there's a bit of trial and error with this kind of stuff. Like this, like why do I have it? Ah, this actually needs to be coming in. So in case they need to come in from this direction, this is leaving. Let us... Let's do that. Let's make this a little bit more pronounced. That way we kind of know what we're working with a little bit better. Yeah, we'll hold on. I'm gonna scrap that. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna rehook these up. All right. I'm gonna take it this way. I think to there. And then it's gonna be, let's see, this is gonna be the entrance. This is gonna be the, oh wow, look at that. That's a crazy track it's trying to do. How's it trying to do that? Let's just do that. Okay, okay. I think it's because these things are slanted. I'm sorry, this is taking way longer than I needed to do. All right, round 2, or is it 3 now? I think it's round 3 now. Oh shoot, Uthris sucks at video games. Tell you what, let's just do that. Let's just widen this section out. Because it's gonna be such a heavy traffic area. I think that's fine. So this here can go ahead and just curve off like that. This is gonna curve off a bit ahead, then work its way over here like that. And this is going to connect to that, right there, right? Now, this section, oh boy, this is a little tough. Because if I just do that, we're basically at square one, just opposite, aren't we? Uthris sucks at video games. What shall he ever do? Besides waste all his money. Not just saying, you know, I don't mind spending a whole bunch of money, but, you know, it's sometimes not ideal for what you might want to accomplish. Let's delete that. At least the music's good. The music's so chill right now. It's so chill, Uthris sucks. Okay, let's, Tell you what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move the entry points. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this thing come in at a different angle and leave at a different angle, right? So we can just do this straight out like this. And then these guys can come around and merge if they want. I think. There we go. So we'll have this as an entryway into the station. And then the exit can simply be here to here. It's another mess of a job brought to you by me. Okay, something like that. It looks terrible, but it'll work. I think this just works and functions better. So there is that and that. Gotta set our directions up here. Okay, so that's an entry. Good. All those arrows work. So there's that. And then this one here. And these arrows, just like that there. Oh, it looks like this one's a little harder to click on. I have to zoom in. All right, and these are exit 1, exit 2, if you want to go whichever direction that is there. Woo! That was more time consuming than it needed to be. In fact, because of how this is laid out now, this is kind of technically the route to go. What's this? Oh, I can just delete a little segment. All right, that's good to know. Okay, so that is that station, I guess. We'll hope it works. I can't spend too much more time on this. We need to get our first trains running. We need to make some money so that we can start paying off this debt that's going to be rather crippling for us, I think. I'm not good with money, guys. I need to get better with that. Okay, so we'll just get some more kind of generic gates here. All right, one going the opposite direction. All right, get that one north south, north south. I think I forgot to do my gates here, but that's fine. You can just do this, this. Okay, which way is the entrance and exit? That's what I want to know. All right, that is that way. And then that way, that way. All right, and then that's gonna wrap around to here, which will then split off into its own little thing. Oh, I have to zoom in here. So I want that, and can I click on that? I can. And I think that functions. So that is our overly complicated train route that no one really needs to make like that. Okay, here we go. Let's go to Depot 1. Let's buy some engines. We're gonna buy a 260 Porter, although we can get the 460 Baldwin. Though it takes lumber. That costs a lumber to do. It is a lot better. But we'll get this. This is perfectly fine. So we'll get that. We'll get some Pullman cars. All right, and we will get an order set up. So we're going to add a station. It can't pull in from this direction to that station, so we can, let's just start from far away, station, and then we can just keep adding stations, station, station, and station. So those are 3 stops, 2, 1, and 0. And we can hit start. Ah, it's starting up. So it'll pop out of the depot in just a moment. There it is. Looking beautiful as always. Look at that. Cruising along with some carriages. Wonderful view there. Now there are some cool buttons here that we can do with these trains. First things first, you'll notice that these arrows turn red when there is a train after that gate. Basically saying, hey, you can't go here if there's a train right here. And they turn green as they pass through. So that's pretty cool. But there's this button here, which allows us to go into this camera view. Now you can go into different camera views on these trains. So we are in the main engine right now, cruising along. Eventually, apparently, you're supposed to be able to drive these, which would be really cool. You can toot the horn. Oh yeah, and just take in the view of the shoreline, the other rail line we have set up, and even, maybe you just want to ride as a passenger and take in this view. So we'll exit that. It's just a really cool little feature to actually allow you to ride the train. So that's something a lot of the 2D games can't do for you, right? Because you don't get that 3D camera perspective that allows for such a thing. All right, so train 1 is about halfway to station 1, which means we are going to go ahead and get another one. So we're gonna get a porter here. We are going to get some wagons, Pullman, Pullman, Pullman. And I'm pretty sure the game sounds, now that the game is playing, they actually play the game sound. So apparently on pause, it's not the case. Look, you can carry ore, some timber, some mail apparently. We'll go ahead and give this one some orders as well. So we'll start all the way up here. Station 2, Station 1, and then Station 0. And once that one, we can speed up time. Here we go, and as soon as it's in the station area, we will hit start. We're gonna manually space these out for now. So he's got his 20 people going through there. All right, so we'll go ahead and get the engine again. Wagon, 1, 2, 3. All right, orders yet again. And I'm thinking we'll have probably just three trains to start, because anything more than that would be a hassle when we add other lines. Oh shoot, did I hit start? Turn around. Shoot, let's reverse that and reverse the train, go to depot. Go to depot. Reverse, reverse, reverse the train, no! Our spacing is not perfect. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. He'll get there. Look at these trains go, man. That's so cool. They look so good. They sound pretty good. Let's ride this one. See the switches go up. There's our other train for us. Hello. I wonder if they're gonna eventually model the people inside the other cars, because that would be so cool to see. We're at the front of this passenger. You can change perspectives. There is a forest right there, which is gonna be our first lumber. Look at this. It looks so cool. To have an interior, we get a little tray. We get somewhat padded cardboard seats. Grass, trees. It's probably winter, I think, now. It's a really long train ride, apparently. Oh my. It's actually, look at that, it's getting snow. We're getting snow. That is so cool, there's dynamic weather. I didn't even know. I thought there was gonna be like a snow map or something, but no, it's November 1920. That is cool. I wonder if we'll get even more and more snow. Here, let's go to money and repay this down. There we go. Now we'll see exactly how much money we're making. Wow, I did not expect the dynamic snow. And it looks like it gets heavier in the mountains the higher you go. That's cool. And look, it's collecting on the roofs. Does it collect on the trains? Maybe because it's moving. I mean, it could also because it's in not quite the full winter climate. Or maybe they'll add it later. Who knows? Anyways, this is kind of the first look here of Mashinky. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. We will be doing a little bit of a series because it's just enjoyable to watch these things go. I want to hook up some other industries. I want to get farther along, rework some of these intersections and interchanges to make them look really good, and we'll see how this goes. So if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness such as this. Go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below on how poor you think my train skills are. And until then, I will see you guys in the next episode. Choo-choo train, go.